Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. 5 players you forgot suited up for the Denver Broncos. When Tony Dorsett retired from the NFL after the 1988 season, he was the Dallas Cowboys' all-time leading rusher and second to Walter Payton on the NFL's career rushing list. But his retirement announcement came after he played one season with the Denver Broncos. The Pro Football Hall of Famer played 11 seasons with the Cowboys and proved he was one of the best backs ever to play in the NFL. But that 12th season went mostly under the radar as a member of the Broncos. While many might not remember Dorsett's short time in the Mile High City, he certainly wasn't the only high-profile player who shined with another team before playing the latter part of his career in Denver. Here are 5 players you may have forgotten who suited up for the Broncos. Tony Dorsett spent the first 11 years of his Hall of Fame career with the Dallas Cowboys and showed just how good he was from the get-go. As a rookie in 1977, Dorsett started just 4 games but still managed to collect 1,007 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns to win Rookie of the Year. The Pitt product began his pro football career with 5 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. His best season came in 1981 when he rushed for a career-high 1,646 yards and finished third in the MVP race. He was also named a first-team All-Pro for the only time in his career. Dorsett rushed for 12,036 yards during his time with the Cowboys. He currently ranks second on the team's all-time rushing list, trailing the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. After his 11 years in Dallas, he was traded to the Broncos in June 1988. He played in all 16 games, starting 13, and had 181 carries for 703 yards and 5 touchdowns. Dorsett was injured during training camp in 1989, essentially forcing him to retire. Ty Law made his money with the New England Patriots with 4 Pro Bowl seasons and 3 Super Bowl victories. One of the greatest cornerbacks of his era, Law led the NFL in interceptions with 9 in 1998 and was named a first-team All-Pro. From 2001 to 2003, he earned Pro Bowl honors each year and was a first-team All-Pro again in 2003 after registering 6 interceptions and leading the NFL in passes defended with 23. After playing 10 seasons with the Patriots, Law signed with the New York Jets as an unrestricted free agent in August 2005. He started all 16 games and finished with a league-leading and career-high 10 interceptions, earning his 5th and final Pro Bowl selection. Because the Jets were well over the salary cap, they released Law in February 2006. Law then signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, with whom he spent the next 2 seasons. In Kansas City, he started all 16 games each year and finished with 6 interceptions. He returned to the Jets for 1 year in 2008 before ending his career by playing 1 season with the Broncos. After failing to find a home to begin the 2009 season, Law signed with the Broncos in November and appeared in 7 games, starting 2, and recorded 1 interception and 10 combined tackles. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2019. Cowboys news, deciding which challenge is the biggest for Mike McCarthy in 2024. Mike McCarthy faces many challenges in 2024, but which is the biggest? Mickey Spagnuolo, making sure he doesn't allow this team to become complacent, meaning just assuming after 3 consecutive 12-win seasons, in 2 of those winning the NFC East titles, the 2024 Cowboys don't take for granted they will automatically win another 12 regular season games. There must be a motivational carrot to dangle. Then there is this, since this is McCarthy's 2nd year as the offensive coordinator. Figure out how to score points in the playoffs. The Cowboys have gone 1-3 under McCarthy in the playoffs, but in those 3 losses they scored no more than 17 points in 2 3/4 games, the outlier the 31 scored in the 2022 first-round 31-14 beat-down of a way inferior 8-9 Tampa Bay team. And don't let the 32 scored in the playoff loss to Green Bay this past season seem meaningful, since 16 of those were scored in the final quarter, having trailed 48-16 with 10:23 to play in the 48-32 beating. Patrick Walker, coming off of a season that saw his offensive rank number 1 in the entire NFL, leading to Dak Prescott earning an All-Pro nod and being the runner-up for league MVP while CeeDee Lamb burst into the record books and Jake Ferguson broke out, there's one glaring opportunity for improvement in an otherwise stellar scheme that dominated in its infancy. The ground attack needs to be more potent and, to McCarthy's admission, it was below par in 2023. That was for a few reasons, including the carousel of injury on the offensive line, but also the absence of a definitive sledgehammer amongst an armory full of swords. Ezekiel Elliott is back to hopefully reinsert that weapon back into the war chest, and a first and third round pick used on Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe, respectively, will be looked upon to help upgrade the offensive line after the loss of Tyron Smith. If McCarthy's offense can improve in this area without taking a step back in the aerial attack, the league's best offense would be that much more formidable, though eliminating some slow starts will also be a key to success, especially in the playoffs. Brandon Aiyuk requests trade, Cowboys must pay CeeDee Lamb before he follows suit. Cowboys star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, while waiting for the contract extension he has so vocally requested, could take the same path Brandon Aiyuk just did, requesting to be traded. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk has officially requested a trade from the club following an off-season of unsuccessful attempts to reach a contract extension, per NFL Network insider Mike Garafolo, on Tuesday. Aiyuk is scheduled to play on the fifth-year option as a former first-round pick, but after making second-team All-Pro, he wants to be paid higher, just like Lamb. About an hour ago, Mike Garafolo told the world on Twitter that Aiyuk had officially requested a trade after failing to reach an agreement. The 49ers were in a similar situation with Deebo Samuel not so long ago, but they made it work, so we will see how that goes. The more we see this news, the more I worry that CeeDee Lamb will not be a Dallas Cowboy long-term. Lamb is due close to $18 million in 2024 under the fifth-year option on his rookie deal, but is scheduled to hit free agency following the season. He could conceivably command at least $30 million per year on a new deal, with three other pass catchers: Minnesota Vikings Justin Jefferson, $35 million, Philadelphia Eagles A.J. Brown, $32 million, Detroit Lions Amon-Ra St. Brown, $30 million, eclipsing that mark. Lamb deserves nearly the same as the highest-paid guy at his position, if we are being honest. Justin Jefferson is the only other player that should be in the conversation. CD said in January he wanted to become the NFL's highest-paid receiver. Lamb is not expected to show up for training camp unless he has an extension in place. He already skipped minicamp, so that's not surprising. That cost him a $100,000 fine. Players who skip training camp are subject to a $50,000 fine for each day missed. This is do or die for the Dallas Cowboys. The championship window is closing for the Dallas Cowboys. If they continue to leave their best offensive player unsigned, and he does request a trade like Aiyuk, this team is done. Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott seem to be playing for their future in Dallas, and not getting a deal done with Lamb, even risking him demanding a trade, does not make sense right now. The only way it makes sense to trade CeeDee Lamb would be if the Cowboys were ready to blow everything up and start from scratch. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandon Aiyuk? Leave your opinion in the comments.